Good afternoon, everyone. I welcome all of you to the lecture Advanced Software Engineering and Technology. Today we will see identifying objects. Is this presentation visible to you? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Identifying initial analysis object. Before this we discuss about the extend and include relationship. One of the first obstacle developers and user encounter when they start collaborating with each other is differing technology. We are also new to the technology as well as the user are also new to the technology. Therefore, there is somewhat obstacles. There is difficulties to understand the technology first, and once we understand the technology, and then we have to start the development of the software. Although the developer eventually learn the user's terminology, we know the we have to learn the user's terminology, we have to learn the user's situation, users environment, in which environment users are working now, and which software, which tools he is using as well as he will use. And then this problem is like to be encountered against when new developers are added to the project. We have taken the project from the client and we have new developers on that project, then again that will be difficult to us. Misunderstanding result from the same terms being used in different content and with different meaning. If the problem not understand to properly to developers, then it will be difficult. Their problem may be fail to work. To establish a clear terminology, to understand clear, developers identify the participating object for each use case. We know till date the use cases, but now we have to find the object for each participants for each use case. Developers should identify the name and describe them unambiguously and collate them into a glossary. Building this glossary constitutes the first step towards the analysis, which we discuss in the next chapter. But you have to keep in mind, identifying object means defining each and every use cases process and give the name for that and make the dictionary of the use cases. You see example, the glossary is included in the requirement specification and later in the user manual. Glossary we have to include into requirement specification, which document we will provide with our software to the user as a manual how to use a software. We have to provide documentation to the user, we have to provide help in the software. We know there in many softwares their last button is the help. You see here, help. Similarly, this kind of function, we have to give non-functional things into the software, and in this help we have to provide the glossary of the object which we have created. Developer keep the glossary up to date as the requirement specification involve. The benefit of glossary are manifold. New developers are exposed to consist set of definition. Suppose there is new developer in our development team, he will understand if we provide the glossary, if we provide the meaning of object for which task, which object we have taken, definition if we provided in glossary, then it will easy to understood to the new developers. A single term is used for each concept instead of developer term and the user term, and each term has a precise and clear official meaning. The identification of participating object result in the initial analysis object model. The identification of participating object during the requirement elicitation only constitute a first step towards the complete analysis model. Once you will able to identify the object, then you will direct towards the one step of analysis. You have to make the analysis of requirement, then we will be able to identify the objects into the requirement which we have taken. We have to create the use cases, we have to create scenarios, we have to create relationship among the use cases, and then identify the objects in that, and this is our analysis step. The complete analysis model is usually not used as a mean of communication between user and developer, as users are often unfamiliar with object-oriented concept. However, the description of the object, that is the definition of the term in the glossary, and their attribute are visible to the user and review. We have to not take the complete communication into the analysis purpose. We have to just take the object and object oriented concept, the description of the object, that is definition of the term in glossary, we have to take from the requirement, we have to take from the required information which we have acquired from user, and their attribute visible to user, and we have to review that. You see here identifying initial analysis object. First, report emergency, include relationship. This is the include relationship, we know. Report emergency, extend relationship. In include relationship, there is the field officer complete the form by selecting the emergency level, type, location, and brief description of the situation. The field officer also describe possible responses to the emergency situation. Once the form is complete, the field officer submits the form, at which point the dispatcher is notified. If the connection with the dispatcher is broken, the connection down use case is used. Include relationship is there, connection down use case is include relationship. If the connection is still alive, the dispatcher review the submitted information and create the incident in the database by invoking the open incident use case. The dispatcher select the response and acknowledge to the emergency report. If the connection is broken, the connection down use case is used. But in report emergency extend relationship, the field officer complete the form by selecting the emergency level, type, location, and brief description of the situation. The field officer also describes possible responses to the emergency situation. Once the form is complete, the field officer submits the form as viewpoint. The dispatcher is notified. The dispatcher reviews the submitted information and create an incident in the database by invoking the open incident use case. The dispatcher select responses and acknowledge the emergency report. In this include relationship, there is connection down use case included in the. If connection is disconnected, field officer is not able to submit the form to the dispatcher, then connection down use case will be used there. This is included. If we use the extend relationship, the field officer complete the form selecting the emergency level. The field officer also described the possible response emergency situation. Means there are the options to field officer. If he will not able to submit the form, then there will be another type of options available with the field officer. Then we can say that is the extend relationship. The dispatcher review the submitted information and create the incident in the database by invoking the open incident use case. The dispatcher select the response and acknowledge the emergency report. Connection down include relationship and connection down extend relationship. We will see the difference. The field officer and the dispatcher are notified that connection is broken. They are advised of the possible reason why such an event would occur. Example, is the field officer station is in a tunnel. The situation is lost by the system and recovery when the connection is re-established. The field officer and the dispatcher enter in the contact through the other mean, and the dispatcher initiate report emergency from the dispatcher station. But in extend relationship, the connection down use case extend by any use case in which the communication between the field officer and dispatcher can be lost. The field officer and dispatcher are notified that the connection is broken. They are advised of the possible reason why such an event would occur. The situation is lost by the system and recovery when the connection is re-established. The field officer and the dispatcher enter in the contact through the other mean, and the dispatcher are initiate report emergency from the dispatcher station. Here is the difference. The connection down use case extend any use case in which the communication between the field officer and the dispatcher can be lost. To make the communication in between the field officer and dispatcher, if we use another type of use case, different type of use case, any other use case, then that use case will be the extend use case. If we have already used use case. If we have already created a use case, sometime we use that and sometime not, then that is the included use case. Example, map. If we use map, then that will be the included use case. If we use another option, suppose there is no options to connect to the dispatcher. If we use another type of connections to reach to the dispatcher from field officer, then that will be the extend options. There are options available to reach to the field officer. Suppose there are 1, 2, three options are available, then these options means the extend use case, extend relationship in between the connection down and report emergency use case. Many heuristics have been proposed in literature for identifying object. Here are some selected few heuristics. Heuristics for identifying initial analysis object. Terms that developers or users must clarify to understand use case. First, we have to understand the use case, then we will be able to identify the objects into the use case. Recurring nouns in the use case like incident. Real world entities. Real world entities that the system must track. Example, field officer, resources. These are the real world. Field officer, there is a person, not this is not imaginary. Field officer may be a person. And also resources. Resources means a fire tank or hospital, ambulance, like this. These are the real words. So we have to find the track real world entities. Real world processes that the system must track, like emergency operation plan. Real world process, what is happening after some incident or accident takes place, to help them what we have to process, report emergency operation plan. Like this we have to find into the requirement which we have collected from the information. Use cases, example, report emergency. Identify the data sources or sinks, example, printer, computer, hard disk, pen drive, or camera, or any other devices we have to find. As well as artifacts with which the user interact, example, station, server, or control system, center, where we will communicate. We have to identify that. Always use application domain terms. Always we have to use application domain terms. Application domain, end user terminals. Like suppose we want to develop software for the bank, then we know the bank's websites, their username, password is given. Similarly, we have to identify the application domain terminal, which terminal we will provide to the users, and how much actors will be there, how much processes will be there, how much buttons will be there on to the terminal of the end user application domains, not on the server. During the requirement elicitation, participating objects are generated for each use case. For each use case, participating objects generated. And if two use cases refers to the same concept, the corresponding objects should be same. If two use cases are same, then corresponding objects also be the same. If two objects are shared with same name and do not correspond to the same concept, or one or both concept are renamed to acknowledge and emphasize their differences. These consolidations eliminate any ambiguity in the terminology. use. For example, there is participating objects identifying for report emergency use case. In this table you find participating object report emergency use case, dispatcher, emergency report, field officer, and incident. Dispatcher, police officer who manage incident. A dispatcher opens documents and close incident in response to emergency reports and other communication with field officer. Dispatcher are identified by batch number. By batch number we can identify the dispatcher. Okay. Report emergency. Initial report about the incident for the field officer to dispatcher. And report emergency. Emergency report usually trigger the creation of an incident by dispatcher. An emergency report is composed of an emergency level, a type, fire, road accident, other, location, and description. Field officer, police or fire officer on duty. Here are the two objects, police or the fire officer on duty. A fire officer can be allocated to at most one incident at a time. Field officers are identified by batch number. Incident. Now, what is the given in this table? Participating objects for report emergency use case. Which objects are participated in emergency use case? Dispatcher, report emergency, field officer, and incident. In incident means situation requiring attention from the field officer. An incident may be reported in the system by field officer or anybody else external to the system. An incident is composed of description, a response, a status, open, closed document, a location, and the number of field officers. These are the description about the incident objects. These are the use cases, and we can say these are the objects we have identified, and detailed explanation about this object we have to give. Dispatcher. Who will be dispatcher? First, police officer or manage incident will be dispatch. Police officer who manage the incident. A dispatcher open document and close incident in response to emergency report and other communication with field officer. Dispatcher are identified by batch. Who is the dispatcher? In the incident management, at the location of accident takes place, suppose there are some person who is their dispatcher, we will identify by the batch, the batch numbers provided to the dispatcher. Dispatcher is the police officer. Like this we have to do the analysis about the requirement. Once participating objects are identified and consolidated, the developers can use them as a checklist of ensuring that set of identified use case is complete. We have identified the objects. We know object dispatcher, report emergency, field officer, and incident. These are the objects in this story. and there is some explanation about these objects. Once we got these participating objects, the developer can use them as a checklist for ensuring that the set of identified use case is complete. After that, we can say our use case is complete. We will find first use cases and make the analysis. For make the analysis, we have to create object. We have to find the objects in that. How much printers are there, how much field officers are there, how much emergency reports are there, dispatchers, doctors, ambulance, computers, all these materials will be the objects in that. Though sometime there is the similar names, but the function may be different. Heuristic for crossing check use case and participating objects. For finding participating objects, which are the rules? Which use case create this object? We have to find which use case create this object. Example, during which use case are the value of the object attributes entered in the system. Suppose we have one software. Okay, in this software we have to fill the values, we have to fill the information in this software. Which use case we are using to enter the information in the software? We have to find that. Which use case create this object? This is use case. Okay, this use case is created by some object. Example, you want to add, you want to find the student's name. Okay, for finding student's name in the list, suppose this is the software. In this software we can find the student's name. For finding name, we have to enter the student's roll number. Then roll number will be the use case. This roll number will be use case to find the objects. Which objects will be find? The name of student will find by this use case. Which use case? Roll number use case. Again, second heuristic is which actors can access this information. Now, which actors can access this information? Which user can access the name of the student by roll number? Teacher will access, or principal will access, or head of department or office or other student can access their name, their friend's name with the help of roll number. That questions we have to ask here. Which actors can access this information for identifying the objects and cross-checking the use cases? For cross-checking use case, we have to ask question which actors can access this information. Again, which use case modify and destroy this object? Example, which use case edit or remove this information from the system? Suppose we have entered number of students information in this form, then who will be remove that information or who will modify that information? Such type of questions we have to ask at the time of analysis of the information of software design. Which actor can initiate these use cases? Who will start use cases? Suppose we have use case application form, admission form, student fees, timetable, and also we have use case like exam, timetable, application form, admission form, and student fees. Suppose these are different objects. We have to find these objects and again create use cases. These are suppose use cases. Okay, these are use cases. Now we have to find who will initiate these use cases. Student will find fees of student, or teacher will find student fees information. Timetable, student is there, student want to find these timetables information or admission information or application form information or any other exam details. For this we have to ask question, which actor can initiate these use cases, who will start these use cases, who will use first these use cases, and then that will be process. Example, suppose you want bona fide certificate. Okay, you want bona fide certificate from college. I cannot take your bona fide certificate from our college. You have to initiate first with the help of application. You have to write the application form, then your bona fide process will be start. Bona fide will be their use case. Bona fide will be use case, and who will initiate that? You will initiate. Though the authorized person can sign there, like principal or officers from the office, they can sign there, but they can't initiate that stage. You have to initiate to take the bona fide certificate from college. Is this object needed? Then again we have to ask questions. Is this object needed? Is application form component is required in our software? Is this object needed? Example, is there at least one use case that depends on this information? Suppose application form, on this application form use case, how much objects or use cases are depends? We have to find at least one object, one use case should be depends on that object which we are finding, which we will create into our software. You see, suppose we don't require printout, but we have created the printers object, then that will meaningless. At least one user should require the print, then and then we can create that object into our software. Identifying non-functional requirement. If you have any doubt regarding this identifying objects, you can ask me question. Use cases, scenario, or objects. Do you have any doubt?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay, shall we move further for next? Next point is identifying non-functional requirement. Next is identifying non-functional requirement. We know functional requirement. Functional requirement means something happen with that function. And non-functional requirement means just information about the working of software, like help. In help there information is given, and with the help of that help we can operate software. But functional requirement means, functional things means, in software there is a file option. If we click on file, we can get another functions. We can get new button, we can get edit button. These are the functional things. You see here in this software, here is the file option. This is functional. If I click on this open new window, I will get new window. Here is view, home. These are the functions. For any softwares, there are this type of option. You see here is file option. If I click on new window, we will get new window. If I click on save button, this software will ask to us for save the document. These are the functional requirement. And non-functional, if I click on help and find about notepad, now I got this information is only for information purpose. About notepad, who is developed this notepad? Microsoft Windows version 2004, copyright 2020, Microsoft Corporation. This is not the functional things, this is non-functional things. Non-functional requirements describe aspects of system that are not directly related to the functional behavior. Non-functional things means requirement describe aspect of system. It describe aspect of system that are not directly related to its functional behavior. It is not related to functional behavior. Non-functional requirements span a number of issues, from user interface look and feel to response time requirement to the security issues. Non-functional requirements are defined as the same time as functional requirement because they have as much as impact on development and cost of the system. For example, consider a mosaic display that an air traffic control used to track plans. A mosaic display system compiles data from a series of radar and database. Hence, the term mosaic into a summary display indicating all aircraft in a certain area, including their identification, speed, and attributes. The number of aircraft such as system can display constant the performance of the air traffic controller and the cost of the system. If the system can only handle a few aircraft simultaneously, the system cannot be used at busy airport. On the other hand, the system able to handle a large number of aircraft is more costly and more complex to build and to test. Non-functional requirement describe the aspect of system and not directly related to the aircraft. Suppose you have mosaic display like this. You see here your pictures are shown at right side.
Is there something else I can help with?
Mosaic display. At airport there is the display. On that display we can find the aeroplanes, which aeroplanes at which location is have. all there you see like this displays there at airport. We can say that is mosaic display. Here is the aeroplane first aeroplane's information, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. All the aeroplanes information we can view, we can find into the this mosaic display. Where is that aeroplane? Actually, this is non-functional things. We can just find the plane, aircraft information. Actually, we can find the speed of aeroplane and its location, speed, location. Suppose this is another aeroplane, we can find the information of all these aeroplane. This is 1, 2, 3. Here at airport, these are the aeroplanes are on track, and we can track this aeroplane on this mosaic display, and we can find detailed information, speed, location, and persons how much seated are there. All this information we can find in this software. Finding this information into this display is non-functional things. We can't handle speed from here. We cannot make the speed, we cannot increase the speed, we cannot decrease the speed from this computer. We can just view that information, we can just find this information. This is very useful information for airport. At airport this is required. Suppose at Aurangabad airport there already one flight is at platform number 1, or and now there another airplane is coming within 1 minute or 2 minutes. This information is very essential at air traffic controlling, but this is non-functional things. Is it understood?
Yes, sir.
A mosaic display system compiles data from series of radars and database, hence the term mosaic. Why mosaic? It takes the data from the database, series of database, means multiple displays are there, so we can say mosaic. And all these displays, display number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is connected to the database, and therefore they can act accordingly the flight movements. If flight changes their location, here we can find the location of that flight. Non-functional requirement can impact the work of user in unexpected way. To accurately elicit all the essential non-functional requirement, both client and developer must collaborate so that they identify minimally which attributes of the system that are difficult to realize are critical for the work of the user. To finding non-functional requirement, we have to collaborate with the client. We have to discuss with client which is the information non-functional requirement may required to the user at the time of software use. Client may be different, user may be different. Nowadays we know there if you want to sell your software or purchase any software, then there is a team, purchase team. Purchase team means the client. They may not use that software, but they purchase, they buy. Therefore, client and user may be different, and so that we have to communicate properly with the client on requirement elicitation, requirement gathering for non-functional requirement. Otherwise, user will not able to use properly that software if we miss that information, or developer said this is not or client said this is not useful information to us. This information is creating confusion in software, but we have to communicate with the client, and so that in collaboration with user and the developer and client, we can find this difficult information solution. In the mosaic display example above, the number of aircraft that single mosaic display must be able to handle has implications on the size of icon used for displaying aircraft, the feature of identifying aircraft and their properties, the refresh rate of the data, and so on. These are the non-functional requirement. How much time required for refresh this data? Suppose this flight number 1 is at Aurangabad. Okay, after 10 minutes in this display, if this flight fly from Aurangabad to Jalna, then it should get here. This flight will fly from Aurangabad to Jalna. Okay, no problem. But it should happen. The change should happen in this display, this mosaic display. This is the non-functional things. But we have to talk with the client how much, or client should talk with developer how much time required to modify, to change, or to refresh the display, as well as icon, which icons are there, size of display, labels name. We know if we suppose started map in our mobile phone and off internet, then we can't able to view the labels. We can get map but not labels. Similarly, the names, label names on the map are the non-functional requirement in the map. The features of identifying aircraft and their properties, the refresh rate of the data, and so on are the non-functional requirement. The resulting set of non-functional requirements typically include conflicting requirements. For example, non-functional requirement of the sat watch. We know example of sat watch, we have already seen in figure 4.3. Call for accurate mechanism so that their time never need to be reset, and a low unit cost so that it is acceptable to the users to replace the watch with new one when it is break. These two non-functional requirements conflict as the unit cost of the watch increases with its accuracy. To deal with such conflict, the client and the developer prioritize the non-functional requirement so that they can be addressed consistently during the realization of the system. We know satwatch is automatically watch. It changes the time with the satellite communication. Zonal wise, it automatically changes the site time. There is no need to set the time in the satwatch. So if the watch is not working properly, then that is the broken watch. We can say we have to throw that watch. This is the non-functional requirement is not given there. If there is problem in that sat watch, what user have to do. User have to throw that watch and change that watch and take new watch. Identifying requirement, non-functional requirement. Example questions for eliciting non-functional requirement. There are some questions, question category and example questions. Usability, reliability, performance, supportability, implementation, interface, operation, packaging, and legal. We will see this in next lecture. Okay. If you have any doubt till this non-functional requirement and object identification, you can ask me question. If you not understand, please ask me question. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any question?
Sir.
Yes.
No, sir.
Okay, then in next lecture we will see the questions for identifying non-functional requirement, which type of question we have to create and ask ourselves as a requirement engineer, or we have to ask to the users or client. That we will see in next lecture about reliability, performance, supportability, implementation, interface, and usability of the software. Then okay, we will stop here.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.